Sagittarius, hello, how are you? I hope you're alright. I'm going to pull you some cards, my loves. I'm just trying to get to my Radiant Wise Spirit deck because that's what I want to use. I'm going to have a quick look at, I say quick, it always takes about an hour. A quick look, I can't help it, at past energies, current energies, and where these energies might be taking you, okay? Bearing in mind everyone has free will, you and other people, okay? When we're looking at the energies, it is kind of a snapshot of the energies in time, okay? So, nothing is super set in stone, nothing is hard and fast. This future line, it kind of gives you an opportunity to think about what decisions you might want to make, okay? And you know, the opportunity is there to kind of change any outcomes that we see, you know, to a certain extent, to as much as you can control your own actions, Sag, alright? It's a general reading. I am not pulling on any particular area of life. For the next block of readings, I might set some more specific intentions around what we want to look at, but for this block of readings I am going to keep it general. So what comes up in the energies is what comes up, alright? To a certain extent it is for you to take the energies that I speak of and apply them to your life as you see fit, alright? So I might be talking about a romantic situation, you might relate to it better in terms of the other energies, say being a job or something like that, alright? Having said that, strong themes sometimes do come through, and where that happens, of course, I'll pass that on to you. Bear in mind it's a collective reading, okay? Collective Sagittarius energy. It's a trip. It is a trip pulling on collective energy, though, seriously it is. It can result in the strangest readings. Sometimes it doesn't always make the most coherent story, sometimes it does. Sometimes I'm sure there is bits that apply to different people and bits that apply to other people. So what I'm trying to say basically is listen to your own intuition, really tune into yourself, pay attention to your own body, so that you know what to take as yours, alright? And leave behind what isn't yours. And just use the cards and me speaking about them and me speaking about the energy as kind of a prompt for your own thoughts, your own... listen to how it makes you feel, and use that to inform, you know, the decisions that you take in your life, because this is all about you, not me. I'm not here to provide you with some sort of ultimate answer. Unfortunately, because in a way I know sometimes that's what we crave. But all the answers are within you, Sag. Right, I'm getting a little bit philosophical. Let's get you past, current, future. Just so you know, I'm going to pull 3 cards for each line from this deck to give a sort of base reading, sort of like a look at the surface energies, if you like, and then I will go in with some other decks and I will clarify and I will get underneath the energies. And if any questions kind of come up, or I can think of any useful questions to ask, I will use that to inform the way I clarify, okay? Because it's all about trying to get something useful for you, and I will do my best to achieve that, alright? But after the first 9 cards, you might have heard everything you need to know and you might not want any clarification, and that's totally cool. Right, so let's get this show on the road. Hello if you're a new subscriber, by the way, because there's been quite a few recently and that's really nice. So yeah, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Right, past energy for Sagittarius, please. Past energy for Sagittarius. I feel like that was a very long intro. Like, come on, let's get some cards. Ooh, Justice. Right. A reverse 10 of Cups. An inability to emotionally harmonise with someone here. Something was really lacking in balance here with both of these. A lack of emotional harmony, a lack of emotional balance. Yeah. Significant anxiety was being caused by this situation in the past here. I feel like 2 people who previously had worked quite hard on trying to find some sort of emotional balance. I feel like 2 people have gone their separate ways here in this past energy. For some it may be as specific as a divorce, with Justice coming out in reverse. it feels like a giving up. I give up. I give up trying to emotionally harmonise with you, whoever you are, whoever this other person is. I don't really feel their energy. Maybe I will when we clarify. To be honest, I do prefer to focus on you, the viewer. But inevitably other people's energy does come into it. But this all feels like you. I do feel a slight sense of relief, actually, almost here. Because with this Nine of Swords, with it coming out in reverse, to me this feels like moving out of this energy of anxiety. There's a certain acceptance here. There's a certain... I feel like there's a certain acceptance here, Sagittarius, that you've done everything you can to reach some sort of emotional harmony with this person. And not that I like assigning blame, but I just feel that you feel you could not have done much more, and that something needed to happen from their end in order to achieve this. It didn't get achieved. It's in reverse, and I feel like you gave as much as you could. I don't know if you almost gave too much to this situation or not. If you did give too much to this situation, I feel you recognised that quite quickly and pulled yourself back from it. We're about to get a cat helper. Okay, let's look at current energies for Sagittarius, please. Current energies for Sag. A Two of Pentacles reversed. That's interesting. Because in your past energy, I felt quite an acceptance and quite a sort of confidence in yourself. And now I'm seeing more of an energy of wavering. And maybe it's not your energy. Maybe it's not your energy. Maybe your confidence has caused someone else to waver. I don't know. I don't know, Sag. Let's see. Always in these readings, by the way, reverse energies as it applies, okay? Because especially when we get cross watchers, and I do feel like Sag has quite a lot of cross watchers, the energies can get a bit mixed up, okay? Current energy for Sag. So I saw that Five of Pentacles when I was talking here. I saw that Five of Pentacles then, and now it's come out right in the middle of your reading. I think where previously, Sagittarius, you had looked to this person to achieve a certain sense of warmth in your life, you are now looking towards yourself. And yet there's some doubt. There is some doubt attached to this. Because I do feel that sense of confidence, but there's some doubt attached to it with that Two of Pentacles. I still don't know if it's yours or someone else's. But there's quite a confidence here in being able to meet your own needs. I feel like in this past energy it's like you were seeking a home in someone or something else, and you've realised that like this feeling of home is something that's within you, which to me feels quite healthy. I don't like it when I see memes and stuff that it's all like, oh, does this person feel like home? Like this idea of someone else feeling like home. Maybe I'm just cynical and unromantic and awful and the Queen of Swords, but this looks quite healthy to me, feeling that sense of home within yourself. Yeah. Oh, we've got some extras in your current energy. That's okay. Six of Wands and a reversed Nine of Wands. Yeah, like I say, there's a certain confidence about your energy. With the Six of Wands here, there is. Is it a bit of a mask, though? Are you putting... Yeah, maybe it's a bit of a mask. Well, I'm not going to criticise you for that. Because this Nine of Wands really wanted to come out as well, hey? And the Nine of Wands is kind of less convincing. He looks a bit sheepish, right? It's like, shit, has anyone noticed? Like, look at his eyes. He's got shifty eyes. He's like, has anyone noticed? Has anyone noticed that I'm faking this? Like, there's a bit of a fake it till you make it energy about this. And this Nine of Wands figure's like, shit. Have they noticed? Well, to be honest, Sag, no. I don't think they have noticed, whoever they is. I mean, I might notice because I'm digging. Because that's what I like to do, because I'm a bit nosy. Only to help you out, right? But actually, on the surface, I don't think anyone has noticed. And I'm not, like, criticising this. Because sometimes, you know, people can be really fake, like inauthentic fake, right? It's not like that. It is just putting on a bit of a false confidence to get yourself through the day. Well, maybe it's not very sustainable, right? But maybe it's okay in the moment, because it's probably not going to force your underlying it's sort of a fake confidence, right? And people say fake it till you make it. Well, I don't think the faking it is going to cause a true sense of confidence, but I think the faking it is going to tide you over until you reclaim that sense of confidence that you've got within yourself. That's what I'm saying, yeah. It's very much fake until you make it, right? Not fake it to force myself to make it, even though I don't feel like I'm making it or feeling it. I know what I mean. I hope that's come across right. I know what I mean. Literally, you're faking it until you actually find that confidence. You're faking that you've got it, knowing that you're going to find it. No, you're not going to find it through faking it, but the faking it's just tiding yourself over. It makes sense to me. Well, I've never thought about that phrase so deeply before. Fake it till you make it. But now I have. Okay, well, anyway, that's the kind of thing that's coming through. That Nine of Wands is interesting, though, and it will be interesting to get further underneath it, because there's some sort of inner wound here that I think is presenting itself. Nine of Wands is often about past wounding. So it could be an abandonment wound with the Five of Pentacles. But I feel you're quite aware of it, Sagittarius, which is cool. And I feel like you're healing it by creating your own sense of safety by yourself, for yourself, and not looking externally for that sense of safety. Okay. Let's look at future energy for Sagittarius then, please. Future energy for Sagittarius. Future energy for Sagittarius. Oh, a reverse moon. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm feeling that. Yeah. When a moon's in reverse, it often feels like you are bringing things out from under a moon. As in, when things are under a moon, it's like we're just we're not in our conscious awareness. I wouldn't even say it's stuff that you've been denying. It's just because to me that feels like a semi-active process, the act of denial. It's not even that. It's just some stuff that you've just never realised before was there. It might relate to this reverse Five of Pentacles, this that we spoke of, this abandonment wound, or whatever this wound is. Whatever's going on, I am feeling it is one of those readings where all these energies are just merging all into one, which happens. You know, sometimes we'll have this line, and this line will go like way back, and then this will be quite separate from this, but it's just one of those readings where everything's merging. Well, for now it is anyway. When we clarify, we might go further back, I don't know, but definitely this current energy and this future energy feels very close in time, somehow, so far anyway. When we get here, maybe it'll take us further out. I don't know, but because I already saw you working with a lot of stuff that previously you might not have been aware of here, and then the reverse moon kind of just confirms it. Anyway, we can dig under that moon and find what else, but what else in the future for Sagittarius, please? What else in the future for Sagittarius? I want an Ace of Cups for you guys. I feel like you guys deserve an Ace of Cups. A reverse Knight of Swords, a Tower and a Hanged Man. No, 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 no. That's not what I asked for. You get what you get. Okay, wow. This is, yeah, okay. This is serious shit. This is some serious shit for you. You've got all mages apart from the reverse Knight of Swords there. I feel quite a lot of anger is going to start bubbling up to the surface for you. When you go underneath this moon. Long term, this is going to serve you well, okay? It's going to serve you well long term. It's going to feel damn uncomfortable when you're in the process of it. Some of you might already be in this process. Some of you might already be feeling quite angry. If you're not, I do feel like I almost feel like you've got a bit of work to do, and you sort of know when you do it, it could bring up these feelings for you. So I don't know what your personal approach is, Sagittarius, to anger, to feelings, because there's a lot of shit on the internet, right? Especially in spiritual communities. There's like these drawings with like love at the top being high vibe and anger at the bottom being like low vibe, and like the aim is to be up here all the time. Well, I flat out just I'm not down with that, okay? I'm not. Feelings are feelings. Anger's a feeling. If you're feeling anger, there's no good denying that anger in yourself, okay? If it's coming up for a reason, and it's giving you some clues about your own self. And by the way, the Tower is all about discovering who you are at your core, right? Because it's like this idea of all things around you falling away and crumbling, but here you are at the bottom, this solid foundation, and when all this stuff crumbles around you, that's when you really discover who you are at your foundation. It is upright. It is an upright tower. It's interesting because I almost feel like I'm looking at a Sagittarius who is quite willing to pull that tower down by themselves. And often we don't see an upright tower in that instance. Often an upright tower comes in when someone's refusing to do that work, and the universe is like, oh, you Sag, look, you've got to have a bit of a look at yourself here. Feel angry, feel the anger. So that's interesting. Because, yeah, I'm not quite sure about that for you, Sag. We'll get underneath it and see. If the universe is having to give you a bit of a nudge to look at stuff, I don't think it's a very big nudge, because I think you're most of the way there. This is the weirdest way I'm feeling this tower. I actually just feel this as, I mean, it is supportive anyway. It is support from the universe. It's just it can feel a bit like pulling a plaster off, like intense, sudden, quick, and painful. But yet supportive, because the plaster needs to come off, is what I'm trying to get across. But it feels more gently supportive than that. It just feels like a gentle nudge. That is really weird for a tower. I don't know what to say. It's a really odd way of reading the tower. It's the way it's coming through. And then you've got the Hangman as well. So the Hangman is all about assessing your own needs. It's going inwards and looking at your own spiritual needs. But you see, that Hangman is reverse. Oh, you might hit something. Yeah, it's like you're going to get so far with going inwards, and then you might hit a bit of a roadblock, actually, with this work that you're doing. I feel like you might hit a bit of a roadblock and get a bit stuck, and then that is when the universe is going to come in and give you some sort of nudge to just prompt you to carry on with this self-reflection that you appear to be doing, this kind of assessing who you are, what your needs actually are, what you deserve as well, and developing a sort of confidence in what you deserve. And yeah, and it feels like it's all been prompted by this sort of lack of emotional harmony between you and someone else, which looks to me like it possibly has led to possibly a literal divorce, but certainly you going your separate ways. Oh, I haven't looked at the bottom of the deck, which I normally do. Oh, a Seven of Wands. Sorry, a Seven of Swords. Sneaky, sneaky. Someone... Yeah, this is what I mean about someone didn't give you enough to work with here, because you wanted to balance with this person, I feel. In the past, perhaps you don't anymore, and absolutely fair enough if you don't anymore. But in order to balance with them, a certain amount of energy and input needed to come from them. And I feel like this is them on the bottom of the deck, actually. It's like they're trying to... They're just not giving you anything to work with. It's like they're just trying to sneak off. In the most non-confrontational manner. And sometimes you need that confrontation to bring the balance, because there's nothing to work with otherwise. And yes, the act of them giving you something to work with does mean your two energies confront each other, but the hope from your end certainly would be that you confront each other in order to balance up. But they just weren't giving you anything to even balance up with. They were just sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. But it's not even like they were there saying, well, how it exactly ended, how can I say the details? I can't. But there's certainly this energy of them just, maybe if I just walk away from this, Sagittarius won't notice. And it's like, well, doesn't Sag deserve some sort of explanation why you're not in this anymore? You're just going to kind of slowly withdraw your energy and sneak off in the other direction? No wonder you were in this Nine of Swords energy, my loves. I mean... And, you know, I do read the centre card with the bottom card as well. Like, it's going to leave you feeling cold, isn't it? But it's like this reverse Five of Pentacles. It's almost like, well, am I feeling cold? Am I feeling abandoned? Have I been abandoned? Because, you know, it's this feeling of like they're putting distance. They're creating distance, but it's not like a definite... They're not just straight up saying, I can't put the effort into this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't give you what you need. It's like they're just... And that sort of creates a bit of confusion for you around whether you even are out. You know, this is the classic out in the card cold. And it's almost like you're like, well, am I out in the cold? Have they gone? What's going on? Well, I think ultimately some sort of break did happen, but to get there, it was like, I don't think this person was the most upfront, I guess. Let's see, let's get underneath some of this past energy and see if we can get anything else for you, Sag. Let's go underneath this reverse Ten of Cups then. Tell me more about this reverse Ten of Cups for Sagittarius, please. A reverse Judgment. I think you had a few cycles with this person. I think you've been around the block a few times with this person. Judgment came out in reverse. The devil, it didn't fall, but the devil did come out. Tell me more about this reverse Ten of Cups energy for Sag. The wheel. What did I say? You've been around the block a few times with this person. 2 tens. I do think it... Well, I've already said it, but it does feel like it's come to an end, but... Yeah, round and round and round. You've been round and round and round. Just sometimes your conversations with this person just seem to go round and round and round in circles and get nowhere. To the extent that they will converse with you, which I don't think is very much, to be fair. But when they do, it's like you just get nowhere. Anything else about this reverse Ten of Cups? Oh, I'm sorry, Sag. I'm sorry. Because... No, 9 of Cups. Yeah, we'll get onto that. But it's frustrating. It feels frustrating. And I think you deserve better. Anyway, this is you realising you deserve better. From the reversed 10 of Cups to the upright 9 of Cups. So 9 of Cups is a more personal, private sense of happiness, of bliss, okay? This is achieving that happiness and bliss in a sort of independent energy. 9s are an independent energy for me a lot of the time. And I just feel like you've been around and around with this person so many times and like tried to emotionally balance with them, and it's like finally you've realised you're just going to find your happiness and a sense of freedom on your own. It's just going to be much easier for you to access that energy on your own. Is how it feels. And I'm annoyed for you because it feels to me like they are going to be able to find their own personal happiness on their own as well, but like they just didn't even want to recognise that or tell you that or something like that. I don't know. I feel your frustration, Sag. This whole thing just feels frustrating. Shall we get underneath this reverse justice, see what's going on here? Anything about this reverse justice, please, Sagittarius? A reverse emperor. Well, someone was being very stubborn, weren't they? I'm just feeling this is like a stubborn silence. No. I'm not loving it. Anything else about this reverse justice for Sagittarius, please? Anything else about this reverse justice? Oh, okay. A reverse death, a reverse hermit, a reverse king of swords. It's not your energy, my loves. I don't like it for you. This person's not nice. I mean, presumably at some point in time this person was nice to you because you're beautiful, Sag, and I don't know why. Oh, alright, Kat, yeah, because the world needs to see your bum, hey? Shall we just... Yeah. So, sorry. I think this person shuts down emotionally. They become quite cold and detached. I mean, sure, they've got their reasons, I'm sure, but like, you just have to. The fact is, their actions are affecting you negatively, and like the only reason I'm saying is because I feel like you might have a slight tendency to kind of over empathise with their reasons. You probably understand their reasons better than they do. Kat, you're making a mess of my cards, love. Can you... Oh gosh, I'm sorry. There's a sort of unhealthy withdrawal here. I think they might, what's that, what do people say, stonewall? I don't know. I just feel like this person's giving you the silent treatment, or in the past gave you the silent treatment. That's what I mean about them not giving you anything to work with. They're very detached. They're very, like, it's like they're very cut off from their own selves. But you know what? Somehow they want to continue to do this dance with you. Because I am seeing this in, because it came out in reverse, I'll show you upright. I'm seeing this as quite the resistance on their part to this ending. They want to go round with you again. They want to keep doing this dance. They want to keep this wheel that turns between the two of you turning. And I can't work out why, and to be honest, I don't think I want to dig and find out why, because I don't know how helpful that is for you, Sag, because I feel like you've reached certain conclusions about this around the fact that they just weren't giving you enough to work with. And actually, I think you might even yourself anyway have reached the point where you realise that trying to get underneath that and finding out the why actually doesn't really serve you, because that's their work to do, isn't it? That's their why, and that's their work to do. And if they want to do that work and come to you and share some of what goes on within them, then maybe you'd listen, Sag. Maybe you would. But until they do, is it the best way to spend your energy trying to work out why? I don't think so, my loves. And I think you know that anyway. I'm just going to get underneath this 9 of Swords, which I do believe is your energy. Yes, and I can see why this whole thing would give you quite the anxiety, and there's overthinking here as well. But I see, like I say, it came out in reverse. I see you moving out of this energy of overthinking, which is why I don't want to push underneath their energy anymore, because it's not going to serve you. But it's just enough to know that this is your reading. If you are dealing with someone who seems to just have this shut down, this unhealthy withdrawal, this stubbornness, this refusal to speak, to confront issues that need confronting if you are going to reach an emotional harmony. And therefore, if they're not confronted, that emotional harmony, it's not there. It doesn't balance up. I don't know who made the decision for separate ways, for you to go your separate ways, but it feels best. Okay. A reverse King of Cups. This is it. This is it. I don't know. You've withdrawn. In a sense, you've withdrawn your cup of love from them. You know, your emotional energy. You've withdrawn that emotional energy. I'm not saying you don't love them anymore. It's not quite as simple as that, is it? But that emotional energy that you would previously kind of send out to them, it's like the emotional energy is coming out of your heart, and it's like almost like a hand that's reaching out to them. You're not anymore, because you've got better ways of spending your energy. Anything else on this 9 of Swords, please? An 8 of Cups, yeah. Eight of Cups is kind of asking that question. Is this worth my emotional investment anymore? Is there actually anything about this situation that can be salvaged? I feel like you'd answered that, and you answered that with a no. And of course, the figure in the 8 of Cups is walking towards his own personal 9 of Cups, and that's what we saw you doing over here. But the decision wasn't reached without much, well, without this, basically, you know, stress. Well, it didn't come easily to you, this decision, and why would it? You know, I can see that you I think at one point had that sense of emotional harmony with this person. How, I'm not sure if it was ever built on very strong foundations, but there was some sort of sense of it there in the past, and there was certainly some sort of hope for it to develop into that. But you have invested cups in this person, is what I'm trying to say. So of course, to make the decision to no longer do that is going to be heart-wrenching. It's only natural. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. That's that curiosity. You do maintain a certain... I can't speak. You do maintain a certain curiosity towards the dynamic between the two of you. I'm not much for giving advice, but I think what Spirit is trying to say is that curiosity that you've got, just be mindful of where you focus that curiosity, because we stopped digging underneath this energy, didn't we? And I said, you know, I think you even know not to dig there, but yet I can feel this curiosity still on your part. So that curiosity can be turned towards, at least if it's not getting underneath their energy, at least it can be turned towards the dynamic between the two of you and your own role in that dynamic, Sagittarius. I think if you turn your curiosity towards your own role in that dynamic, that will serve you better for future relationships. Because you can't control this other person, their actions, their ability to even desire to look at their own selves. You can only look at your own self and your own actions. And then that means if a similar dynamic presents itself in the future, you're better able to recognise it, recognise your role in it, recognise what, if anything, you can do to shift it, or recognise it sooner so that you can move away from it sooner. Okay? Yeah. Because I do see quite an intellectual curiosity about that, about this whole thing. Which I totally understand, by the way, because I'm the same. I'm the same. That, well, I probably wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't, right? I mean, it's, don't jump up. I'm sorry, I'm just talking to the cat because she's, don't jump up on this table because you will send, no. All right then. Or at least she did it without sending cards flying. I'm having to preserve your dignity yet again. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Yes, the psychology of how humans relate to one another is absolutely fascinating to me. So I understand this intellectual curiosity. I absolutely understand it. But just be mindful of how you direct and focus that curiosity, and just make it about kind of yourself, really. I mean, use it as a tool to get to know yourself better, and like examine the dynamic through that lens, not through a lens of why did they do that, why did they do that, why did they do that. Well, you know, you can probably get so many answers by examining that, but I think you've examined that quite well. And yeah, I mean, I understand the desire though, I do. So take it as you will. Yeah, hope that makes sense. Right, current energy then for Sagittarius. Where shall I start? Yeah, okay, then let's go underneath this Two of Pentacles. It's a bit scattered, this energy. What's going on? Tell me more about this Two of Pentacles for Sagittarius, please. Oh no, a reverse Queen of Pentacles. Oh, I struggle with this energy. By the way, I am Sag rising, so yeah. On a separate note to all of this, I don't know how it relates, but I mean, it feels quite separate. I just think you're kind of struggling with organisation at the moment. Yeah. Because the Queen of Pentacles upright... Oh, excuse me, I can't think. She came out reversed. I'll show you her upright. I like to show people the cards where possible, because there might just be little winks from the universe directly to you in the cards. Both these cards, when they're in reverse, can be this feeling of not being organised. It's like you just can't get on top of stuff. Oh, I'm so familiar with this energy. Particularly in relation to your home space, I'm going to say, I think you're finding it quite difficult to get on top of stuff in your home space currently. Temperance in reverse. Feel very busy. I don't know, there's this busyness in your energy. Reverse 3 of Pentacles, reverse 5 of Cups. There's a kind of busyness in your energy. I don't know if it's like actual, I want to say physical busyness, or I don't know if it's because your mind is so busy. Because I'm still feeling this Nine of Swords energy quite a bit. Even though it's in reverse, I don't know, I can see you keep dipping into this Nine of Swords feeling of anxiety. This is like, this is perpetuating one another though, isn't it? Yes, I can feel this. I can feel this. Oh, Sag, bless you. It's like the busy mind, the energy of this busy mind, you can get stuck in loops of thinking, and then it stops you feeling comfortable and organised in your home space. And then the lack of comfort and disorganisation in your home space further fuels the Nine of Swords anxiety energy, and it goes round and round. So how can we break this cycle? That would be a useful question to ask. It's not it's not easy, is what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, I don't want to just be flippantly like, yeah, sure, how can Sag break this cycle with one magic card? I know it's a bit more tricky than that, but let's see if the universe can give you any nudges in the right direction. How can Sag break this cycle that we've just discussed? I don't know what to call it, and I can't do it I can't sum it up with one word, but yeah, it's a cycle that it would be nice if you could try and break it, hey? How can Sag break this cycle? There is a 3 of Pentacles, maybe about getting help. 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands. It's that fake it till you make it energy. And the 9 of Wands again. You're kidding me. On the bottom of the deck. I don't know how helpful that is for you, Sag, to be honest. Maybe there's something in that for you with regards to help breaking that cycle. Feels like a bit of a superficial hack to me, and I'm not very good at superficial hacks, but if that works for you, that's absolutely fucking brilliant. More power to you. That's awesome. I'll be very happy if that works for you. I mean, it is like a cycle though, isn't it? So sometimes you just do have to do that one thing to tweak it, and then everything else that follows changes. Let's get underneath that 5 of Pentacles for you. Yeah, okay. 5 of Pentacles. See, there's this feeling of abandonment being triggered here in this energy, and I think this idea that someone's kind of slowly sneaking away from you is triggering it all the worse, because it's not clear cut. It's like not. I almost feel like if they were straight up, or in the past they had straight up said to you, look, this just isn't working for me anymore. I just can't put my energy towards this anymore. I just feel like that would have made things a lot easier, even though that would be painful, because it would be like your fears would be coming, you know, your fears around abandonment, they would be coming into reality, wouldn't they? But at least you'd know. It's almost like the not knowing. You're not knowing that if you're about to be abandonment is even worse than the actual being abandoned. Yeah, something like that. Tell me more about this reverse Five of Pentacles, please. Oh, yeah. It is a card of an ending, but again, it's in reverse, so it feels like a lack of clarity about. There's a lack of clarity around this ending. Yeah, and it's bringing up a lot of stuff around the idea of being abandoned. But it's teaching you something. If you listen to it, it's teaching you something, but you know, obviously that's personal to you. Anything else about this Five of Pentacles, please? Anything else about this Five of Pentacles? Strength in reverse. There's potentially some self-blame here. So potentially what might be going on for some of you is because you feel like this person's distancing themselves or moving away from you or abandoning you, you're like, well, what did I do wrong? You know, what part of me is so wrong that this person felt they couldn't put their energy towards me? That's not it. I don't think... I mean, you're not perfect. Do you have stuff you need to work on? Yes, all of us do. But that's not it. That's not the dynamic I'm seeing. Someone didn't think... Oh, it's not a case of this, that and the other being wrong with Sag, and so therefore I'm going to walk away from Sag. It's not that. It's not that. There's nothing wrong with you, is what I'm trying to say. They weren't being emotionally honest with you. That's what's at the root of the matter. That's what's at the root of the difficulty in this dynamic that I'm seeing. If they're not being emotionally honest with you, that's not your fault. How can that be your fault? That's not your fault. There's just no way that can be your fault. It's not logical. A reverse Seven of Swords. It's, yeah. Well, we'd already read that energy with that Seven of Swords energy. It's this dishonesty on this part of someone else. Dishonesty. That's what we already spoke about. I spoke about it before the card came out. They just tried to sneak away from this connection. That's not your fault. No. The Sag I'm looking at was open-hearted. You would have held that space for that confrontation that you feel, and I agree with you, that you feel needed to take place for you to emotionally harmonise. This is a Sag who's capable of holding that space. They didn't wish to enter into that space with you. That is on them. I'm not going to say it's their fault. I don't like assigning blame. I don't. But this is the situation I'm seeing. There's a Sagittarius here who's open-hearted. I'm getting emotional now. I feel... don't make me cry, Sag. That space was there. You were beautifully held that space. But if they're not going to open their heart and contribute to that space, you doing anything else beyond that would be overgiving. And perhaps, sorry Kat, perhaps you did overgive to this situation a little bit, and perhaps that's what you need to, because there's lessons for you to learn in all of this, and perhaps that's one of them, because fear of abandonment might drive a sort of overgiving. It might. And that might be why we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse as well. See, the Queen of Pentacles has come out again here and upright. So it's almost like, you know, at your core you have this upright Queen of Pentacles energy, this very nurturing, caring, empathetic energy that I think sometimes you overgive. I think sometimes you overextend yourself in that energy, and that's partly why we saw this reverse Queen of Pentacles here around this Two of Pentacles, which somehow to me feels like it's attached to this energy of disorganization, which kind of feels like a home space disorganization, but it could be sort of like thoughts disorganization, like it's just sort of scattered energy around putting your time and effort to something that is a solid investment in you somehow. And I almost feel like that's a reaction to this other person not giving their energy to the situation in the same way that you do. It's almost like this energy a little bit got sort of the overextension of this energy sort of reversed this energy here, which we see over here from a different same card, different deck, and that's like it's just caused a lack of investment in self in quite a physical way. Anything else for Sag on this current line? Oh, this fake it till you make it energy. I'm struggling with that, I've got to say. Let me know in the comments, right, if you relate to this fake it till you make it thing, because I don't know about that. I think it can get you out of a bit of a tight spot, but I just don't feel it's sustainable. But it might just be enough to break this cycle that we kind of spoke about, that hopefully made sense in some way. Anything else about this Six of Wands, please, for Sag? Three of Cups. Ooh, a reverse star. See, that feels like a bit like a loss of hope. That reverse star. Six of Wands. None more on the Six of Wands for Sag. Which way round do you want to be? You're not sure, are you? The Fool. Not sure though. It wasn't sure if it wanted to be upright or reverse. It's wavering. It's wavering. It's a leap of faith that you're not quite not quite in that energy of taking this leap of faith. Look. I never really linked these two cards together like that, like with the birds on the branch and that being a bird on the branch. What's that all about? There's a very strong sense of collaboration for me in this particular Three of Cups. And a strong sense of emotional expression. It's like emotional expression through collaboration. Like literally the type of energy you would be in if you joined a choir and singing with other people. It's like that emotional expression but with other people. Or like chanting, or like joining a drum circle. Or even doing yoga or something like that. What's that all got to do with the Six of Wands? Oh, that fake it till you make it energy. Oh, okay. So something like, there's some idea of collaborating, because we had the Three of Pentacles out over here as well. There's something here about collaborating with other people, but you're not faking it. This is the thing. You're not... Oh, God, Sagittarius. You've got a bit of imposter syndrome here going on, haven't you? It's like you don't think you're good enough to join the choir or, I don't know, go to yoga, or there's some reluctance. Like it would feel like a massive leap for you to take that step, to do this new thing with these new people. and you know it'd be really good for you, you know it'd be really healing for you as well. It might even be doing group therapy or something like that. I don't know what it is. Some sort of group activity, and it involves emotional expression on some level, and it's gonna be healing, right? With the Star and the Nine of Wands, it's gonna heal these wounds, even just by knowing other people like you exist. That in and of itself just feels healing. But I'm not sure you've quite taken the step yet. Or you might have done, I don't know, but I think a lot of you haven't. Where am I going with this? Oh, because I want to talk about this fake it until you make it. Because you feel like you're not good enough. I think there's like this... I say it's joining a choir. This is a personal example because I'm in a choir. Or I joined a choir about a year ago. So yeah, to a certain extent, you do have to just tell yourself you're good enough. But the thing is, you are good enough, and I think you know you're good enough. And who isn't good enough? Anyone and everyone is good enough to turn up to like a yoga session or whatever it is you are thinking about doing. You're good enough. Of course, you're good enough. Because it's about, I don't know what it is, but it's about emotional expression, and it's about collaboration, and it's whatever group this is, it's a very accepting group. There's the question of being good enough isn't even a thing on any of these people's minds, okay? Whose group you're thinking of joining, right? So you definitely are. But I can see with this Six of Wands, to a certain extent, like entering this energy of I'm definitely good enough, you know, bigging yourself up a little bit, telling yourself you're good enough, telling yourself you can do this as a very temporary thing is just going to get you in the room, basically. Yeah, fine. I get it now. I get the Six of Wands energy now. And it's sort of to counteract a sort of imposter syndrome, because you think, imposter syndrome, you know, that's when you think, like, I'm blagging it. You think you're blagging it. You think you're definitely not good enough, that you're just blagging it. But you're not. So you're not blagging it. You just are good enough because you're human and you're there and you have the intent of wanting to collaborate and the intent of wanting to improve your own self via this form of emotional expression, whatever it is. Yeah, and that's why the Six of Wands come up back here, to break this cycle. That's why I started talking. This is why you have to stick around for my readings, because things get revealed in layers. Yes, don't they? And also you get to see my cat's arse, so I don't know why you wouldn't stick around for that. So when over here, when I was talking about breaking this cycle, and I was like, fake it till you make it. Oh, I'm not convinced about that. But actually, it's just about getting yourself in that room, whatever that room is for you. That room where you get to collaborate and you get to express yourself emotionally. God, I don't know. It could just be it could be anything. It could just be visiting family, for all I know, or visiting friends. But there's just there's some sort of sense of community, and there's some sort of sense of emotional expression being valued. You know, it feels like quite artistic emotional expression. It could be going to a painting class. It's something like that. It's going to be different for all of you. But yeah, music, painting, whatever, it's just nice. I like it, but it feels new to you because there's a bit of a leap of faith needed, and you're not quite in that energy yet, but it's available to you, Sag, so it's all good. Right, future energy. How long is this reading going to last? Let's get underneath this moon for you, this reverse moon. But then have we already identified what's underneath this moon? Because in a sense, I think this Knight of Swords is underneath this moon, this anger. But I see you actively looking at what's underneath your moon here. I think whatever this is for you, this Three of Cups, needs to take a leap of faith for you. I think it's going to open you up to what's underneath your moon. I mean, back here you were very emotionally open anyway, but there was just nowhere there to meet you. And here I feel that there is that opportunity to be met. It's not romantic, I don't think. It's more collaborative, like I've said. But yeah, it's going to bring stuff up from under your moon, I think. But in a way that I feel like you're expecting and that you're ready for, apart from then we get this Tower, so that's very interesting, isn't it? Okay, tell me more about this moon for Sagittarius, please. We're going to be here ages, I'm sorry. Ace of Wands. Ooh, Two of Cups. Holy shit. Sag. Oh, Sag. It's really going to open you up. Oh, Sagittarius. I really hope you're still here and you've still been sticking with this reading. I'm telling you. Whatever is opening you up here that isn't romantic, yes, well, I tell you what, if you are looking for romance and fucking passion, then however this opens you up, like, oh my god. Ace of Wands, Two of Cups, the Lovers, Sagittarius. There is some serious passion underneath your moon. There is some serious love energy underneath your moon that has been waiting to be unleashed. Oh my god, and you are unleashing it in your future. And I feel it's through doing this. This, whatever, you know what we spoke about here, this collaboration that's going to open you up. You might have to fake it to get in the room. How that applies to you, please tell me. If you're thinking of starting, it's something like starting a yoga class or starting a painting class or something like that. But it's going to open you up, and when you like start doing the inner work, the shadow work under your moon. You see, we don't always find scary shit under our moon. Sometimes when we open ourselves up to bits of ourselves that we've been denying, we find shit that's fucking beautiful, and that's what's happening here. There's so much love energy, so much passion, and I just feel like you're really gonna be at one with yourself. But also, if you're single, it's really opening the door for an amazing connection. And yes, you may have to get rid of quite a lot of anger first, by the way. But there's an amazing connection in your future. Absolutely amazing. Like, yeah, I mean, I would be saying at this point, I want to be a Sagittarius, but hey, I'm Sag rising, so yeah, I'll take that. Definitely. I will say a lot of Sagittarius readings from other readers. If I go to other readers on YouTube, I do move towards my rising sign. I will look at Sagittarius most, even over Virgo, to be honest. I think that's the thing though, the older you get, the more you identify with your rising sign. And definitely that's the case for me at the moment. Anyway, this isn't my reading, but but there will be aspects of it that might be for me, of course. That's a thing that happens. Okay, Knight of Swords. Anything about this Knight of Swords, please? Anything about this Knight of Swords for Sagittarius? A reverse Queen of Cups. It's that reverse strength again, right underneath that. You've got to be nice to yourself. It's that Nine of Wands again. I think that's the third time I've seen the Nine of Wands for you. So it's almost like you've got to hold yourself in your anger here. Hold space for your own anger. Like, don't be too defensive of your own anger. You see, she's quite defensive here. When we see strength in reverse, I'll show you it upright. It's all about compassion and being compassionate towards yourself. So there's just a small tendency here that if you're feeling anger, you might want to put that back under that moon. I don't think. This Queen of Cups energy is someone who I feel you resent somewhat. I don't know who it is. It could be a mother or father figure, or it could be someone from a relationship who should have held space for your feelings, particularly your negative feelings. It feels more like a father figure, mother figure. Someone who should have held space for you in the past for your anger, didn't. And of course, when I say anger, I'm talking about the feeling specifically. Obviously, you shouldn't hold space for any nonsense, harmful behaviour of anybody else. And harmful behaviour can result from anger. But anger in and of itself is not something that we should try and stop. I'm sorry if you don't like that. It doesn't seem to be a thing that goes down well in spiritual communities, and it's beyond me. So if you're one of these positive vibes only people, we're probably not a good fit, and goodbye, and I wish you the best of luck. Yeah, this is someone who should have held space for your anger. Probably a mother figure or a father figure, and they didn't. And it's, to me, what this feels like is you learning to hold space for your anger yourself in a way that is hard for you to do because it wasn't modelled to you. If it was modelled to you by a parental figure, then you wouldn't feel such panic at your own anger. But I think you're very aware of all this anyway, Sagittarius, and you don't even really need me to be saying all this, I don't feel. I think this is shit that you're aware of, and this is just confirmation. And I suspect to a certain extent the Tower is here to sort of say, well, I think you're doing a pretty good job of all of this, Sag. I do. And I don't know how to say this without it sounding vaguely threatening, and that's not what I want. But I think the universe is only going to step in and sort of force you to look at your own anger if you deny it, if you don't allow it out from under this moon. But I see you allowing it. I see it coming out from under this moon. I do. And with strength in reverse, I see you creating that space for it. But there is potentially a bit of defensiveness. So if you get too defensive towards your own anger, then I just feel, I don't know, with this Tower, like the universe might just chuck something your way to kind of... What? I don't know. Let's get underneath that Tower and see. Tell me more about this Tower, please, for Sag. A Four of Pentacles. See, I almost want to say that this Tower moment could come about if you go around this cycle again. And then the Four of Pentacles comes out, and the Four of Pentacles is holding on to stuff that doesn't serve us. But then it's that anger as well. Holding on to that anger doesn't serve you, and you can't release that anger until you allow yourself to feel it. So, tell me more about this Tower, please. A reversed Hermit. Oh, very interesting. That's you just numbing out. And there's something that you do, some sort of pattern of behaviour that you're prone to that numbs you out. And I'm not having a go at you, Sagittarius. Oh God, I'm not. Believe me, I'm not. I know, it's hard. Five of Wands. And it's quite a comfort zone for you. Yeah. It's different for everybody. Different people do different things to numb that pain. We're all prone to it. We're human. We all do it. I'm not above this or immune to doing this. Certainly not. There is something here that, yeah, it looks like you might turn to numb you out and not feel this anger. Knight of Swords here is very, very strongly coming through to me as anger. I don't know. There's a lot of anger that needs to be processed. In fact, part of the anger, I think, is linked to this person not holding space for anger, which is weird. And anyway, just be a bit careful of numbing yourself to that pain, whatever it is that you may or may not do to try and numb yourself to that pain, whether that's drinking, smoking, you know, endless Facebook scrolling, whatever. This up here, this is a more healthy way of processing those feelings, that whatever that is for you. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you're thinking of taking a leap of faith towards, but you know, I repeat myself, it feels collaborative and it feels like a space where you're allowed to express, you know, and it's encouraged, and it's done through some sort of artistic, possibly creative process. Anyway, it's interesting this is coming underneath this, because these are two very different ways of dealing with negative emotions. And I think, you know, this Tower energy is linked to this kind of energy of numbing, which feels very comfortable to you with the Four of Pentacles, and that's fine, that's understandable. But I think just know that if you do sort of go down that route of numbing, then you'll probably, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass, basically, with the Tower. Sorry, it's just what I see. It's not, yeah. I don't want it to sound threatening, but I hope I don't sound threatening. It's not my intention, but it's just the way I'm reading the energy. It's just what I'm seeing. So, but I'm just keep coming back to this for you, Sag. I mean, that's what's there underneath your moon. Like, but you seem like such an open-hearted person anyway. And then under your moon, it's like there's even more. It's like you can be opened up further. And I do feel it's through this, whatever this is for you. And then this sort of more numbing activity moves you away from that. And, you know, you're aware of that, I think. Yeah, so I think I'm going to leave it there for you, Sagittarius. Because, yeah, we've kind of seen this anger, we've looked at the different two approaches to this anger, and then I just do feel like feeling this anger and therefore processing it just opens you up so beautifully to, I mean, this is just beautiful. It's just so open-hearted, and I think for a lot of you it does involve another person, like the emotional harmony that you were trying to create here with this person who just wouldn't meet you halfway. This is someone who will meet you halfway, basically. And that's there for you, kind of under your moon, which is an interesting place for it. But to me, that's saying, you know, when you process the stuff that's under your moon, that's what's waiting there for you. And it feels new. It feels like a new person with this Ace of Wands, and it's not short of passion. It's not short of fire. It's beautiful. Okay, so on that note, because I love those cards for you, yes, I am going to leave your reading there, Sagittarius. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope more than anything you just felt heard in the world. Hopefully it's prompted something useful within you, actions you might want to take, yes. And I will see you in another 2 weeks-ish. I get a bit off schedule because I get migraines and I'm a single mom. What can I do? I'll see you in 2 weeks-ish for another lengthy reading. In the meantime, I will pull a all signs reading, so that'll be 5 to 10 minutes per sign. If you got something out of the video, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. It helps the algorithms and all that. And if you've not subscribed already, please do so. All right, Sag, my lovelies, I'll catch you next time. Bye.